until now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Brought to you by the Health Services Authority. Caring people, quality service. Visit hsa.ky.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health. 2 locations, Governor Square and Grand Harbor. Refill and transfer prescriptions online. Call 947-8900 or visit healthcarepharmacy.ky. Also brought to you by Cayman Medical Center, Cayman's most awarded private medical clinic.
And UHealth, International University of Miami.
World-class healthcare in the heart of Miami.
The Light Room, your holistic sanctuary for physical and mental restoration, repair, and rejuvenation. The power that made the body heals the body. 38 Pasadora Place, Georgetown. Find us online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve. UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
Hello and welcome to For the Health of It. March is Honoring Women's Month, and we have a guest, Ms. Paulinda Mendoza-Williams. She is the Director of Children and Family Services. Hello and welcome to For the Health of It.
Hi Tara, thanks for inviting me. It's a privilege to be on your show. I'm excited.
When you said yes, I nearly did a cartwheel. I can't, but I did it mentally. Okay, because this is a month to highlight women who are making a difference in our community. Talking about that, how do you balance your life as a mother, as a professional? Because it's not a one little job you got. Okay. How do you do that?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a very spiritual person. My Christian values play a very important part in all things. I put God first. And with his guidance and support, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I am a disobedient child to him sometimes, but I do put him first and ask for his grace and guidance every morning when I wake up to be able to be the best in leading my team and being of service to the Cayman Islands. But I also have my family who I truly appreciate in terms of thanking my husband for bearing with me when I might come home and take out the stresses of the day on him. But also, just having them around me and the support that they give. I have a 19-year-old son, and I must say he is a very good boy. I'm so proud of him. And just thankful to be able to have that balance when I get home, that they are there to support during the joys and the trials of being in the role that I am in. So thankful to them. And I also have a wonderful group of, I have my big sister who some people may know, some people know her as Miss Mendoza Hides. She taught at John Gray for many, many years. I have her, but I also have a group of sisters, spelt with a TAS, that are there to give support and encouragement. So try to ensure that the balance is there, being able to self-care, have people around me that support, and keeping God first.
Still not an easy thing, right? I mean, especially a woman in a leadership role, and you don't have a light budget. You're taking care of a lot of people. How do you do that?
Well, I must say I have an awesome team at the Department of Children and Family Services. We are 152 staff strong and growing. Also have the support of my ministry and chief officer. But in terms of just being able to ensure that we're all on the same page and supporting each other and encouraging each other, like any organization, you have your ups and your downs, but trying to ensure that we focus on delivering services that are of best practice to our people, to the country, being able to hold each other up. Just today, we celebrate Social Work Month. So it's funny that Women's Month is also in March, and social workers around the world are more than, I would say, 90% of social workers are females. And it's always great to celebrate women, but also celebrate our craft. And today we had our staff awards, and it was just, an awesome time just sitting down with each other, fellowshipping, and giving each other our flowers, because it is, as you said, it's not an easy job, and we are often the unsung heroes. But if they don't see us for a day, I'm sure people will miss having social workers around. So it's just being able to, work with the team, encourage them, be there for them, share the vision, have open communication.
Even open communication can be hard. In the environment that we are in the Cayman Islands, I think what you said earlier, that we are unsung heroes. Our men, I find this, they get a stipend for the seamen's pension, but I think the women who stayed here and stuck it out should get double the amount, because it was a partnership, for a lack of a better word. They stayed here and the men sent their money home. But they had to make sure the money went. They didn't throw it away either.
Yes, they had to invest it wisely. They had to budget wisely to ensure what was being sent was able to last them until the next funds came in. Yeah. So yes, it's something to consider. I think that's a good idea, Tara. That we need to explore that. Yeah.
I'm so happy that we are now seeing more women at the helm. Career, which comes back to going to this, my next question. What advice would you give young women aspiring to a leadership role, especially in the fields that might be underrepresented? Not so much social work, but an astronaut or a mechanic or whatever.
So I'm going to say girl power. We can do everything. And right now, with the technology and all the opportunities for trainings, women can be whatever they want to put their minds to, whatever profession they feel that they want to engage in. Go for it. Do not let anything stop your dreams, your vision. I think we are in a world where information is at our fingertips. Opportunities, a lot of opportunities. And just here in Cayman, we heard the other day in terms of the scholarship funding through government that they've increased that. Do not let anything stop you. Go for it. Go and secure funding to go off to school or start your own business. Do things that years ago our grandmothers, great-grandmothers thought, no, we couldn't do that. But they encouraged us because they put us through school. They built that foundation. And you're talking about fields that we don't see a lot of women in. Here's what I'm going to say. We need more women on the floor of the parliament. I think right now we have the largest number that we've had in history, but we need more women. We need more women to have a voice in making the decisions for this country. We need more women to build on legislative frameworks. We just need to have a presence because we are contributing, we are making a difference, and our voices have to be heard. It's not that it needs to be heard, it has to be heard. Not that I'm pushing DG out, but it will be a great day to see a female deputy governor in our civil service. We are making strides. We have our first female Chief Justice, the Honorable Margaret Ramsey Hale, who I want to shout out again. She was our keynote speaker at our awards, did a phenomenal job as always. Kudos to her, give her roses. And also looking at our police commissioner. I know he just took up his seat, not rushing him, but in areas like that, having more female presence at the realm, because sometimes we just bring a different viewpoint, a different approach to things. I recall Miss Danzy Carter, she was the first chief superintendent. Yes, I think she's been the only female chief superintendent. I have the privilege of working with her daughter. And again, these are professions that, yes, we have women in the force, but we don't see women at the helm. And this is what we need to have. So our young women, go for it. I encourage the young social workers in the department to aspire to sit in my seat. I am coaching them, I'm mentoring them to fill the seat. It should not be that we have to bring persons from overseas to fill the role of Director of Children and Family Services whenever I leave. It should be that we have so many qualified Caymanians women, because we're talking about women, to fill the seat. And I tell our young social workers, our young Caymanian social workers, I'm going to be harder on you because you have to sit in the seat someday or some other seat, whether it's in private sector or public sector.
Who was a mentor for you?
Oh, a mentor for me. It's going to sound cliche-ish, but my mother.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is the bravest woman I know.
Who was your mom? Tell her.
My mom is Carita Mendoza. She owned Carita's Copper Kettle right where Bread and Chocolate is in Georgetown. She's fed many children because she also ran the John Gray Canteen many, many moons ago. And people always come up to me. I said, if I had $1 for every time people talk about her chili and her Carita special, I could retire from government.
Yeah.
From government. My mom, she was a visionary. When it came to business, my mom was a visionary. She owned the first food truck in Cayman. Many people don't know that. It was called Meals on Wheels. And my mom taught me many, many lessons. But she sent my sister and I off to school, boarding school in Jamaica. She sent me at the delicate age of 5. And some people would say, that's child abuse.
That was young. I wouldn't call it child abuse, but I was young.
And she sent me to a lady who she did not know. And my sister was there when I got there, but there were other Caymanian children because that's how she got to know the lady. And I say that she's the bravest woman I know because how many people would send their 5-year-old off? And I know I cried every time I had to go to Jamaica, but that experience has made me the woman I am today. And it has built the qualities that I embrace as a leader. But there's one lesson that my mother taught me, and it was serving in the restaurant. So I hated serving food in the restaurant. I hated it. I do everything else, but not that. And she told me, girl, put a smile on your face. Do not go to my tables looking like that. And I think her telling me that has made me become a more optimistic person. And I try not to make the stress of things get me down. But she also told me, you see the man walking in the restaurant in his suit and tie, and the one that's walking in his construction, the boots, the shirt. She says, make sure you treat the two of them the same. Because no matter where you come from, respect is due to everyone.
Ah, what a beautiful lesson. And I do remember Miss Carita and going to her restaurant and sitting down there many a day eating. I enjoyed her food so much. Now, how can women continue to grow and advance in their careers?
We need to ensure that we continue to uplift each other. That is important. I don't have to like you, Tara, but I should be able to support you and give you your kudos when you are doing a stellar job. But also to be able to say, hey, can I share some ideas with you if I see that Tara may be having a challenge somewhere along the line? Not being critical, but being supportive. We as women tend to want to talk about each other. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a woman thing because I'm sure men do the same thing, but it's more noticeable with us. And it is important for us just to keep each other's crowns on our heads rather than trying to tear them down. I often say we need to take a page out of the boys' club book because they can have a lot of things going on personally with each other behind closed doors. But when they step out, they're going to support each other because they're looking at how Joe can benefit John in their working relationship. So I think it's very important for us to continue to support each other no matter what is going on. Just being there and saying, hey, look, I'm here for you. You may not know me, but here's my card. We can talk, whatever, in whatever situation we land each other in. Particularly, again, from a government standpoint, we have a lot of senior leaders who are women. And I think one of the things that would really, really be good is almost to do a civil service networking as women in senior leadership in government, just to be able to just support each other, be there. It doesn't have to be anything heady.
Yeah.
But just having a forum for us to sit down and share ideas, not just to talk about the ills of whatever, but to share ideas and just be a support.
Yeah, because I'm sure that you have ideas on how something could be improved. And I love what you said about helping each other along the journey. I find in Cayman that people don't wear their power well. They wear it to protect as opposed to bring other women or men along on the journey. And I hope that in time our development will improve and will grow up, so to speak.
Yes.
So
yes.
that would be...
I like how you say that we use our power not to support, but to defend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are your career, and do you have any career challenges? What do you see the career challenges out there for women, and how do you navigate them?
So again, I would say sometimes we are our own worst enemy. Because, we get in that spirit, we can't do this because, and I'll go back to what I said earlier about more females on the floor of Parliament. That is a significant role and job to be in, because you're at the scrutiny of the public. And sometimes you don't want to be at the scrutiny of the public. And as women, we tend to want to keep certain things in and not want to have that exposed because of how that may affect our children or our partner or whatever. As well as we often say, well, we have to ensure that our children are of a certain age, because if they're school age, how are we going to balance that? So again, being able to find that balance and find that support network to allow us to engage in our dreams and engage in, moving forward, stepping into those spaces that we want to be in, and knowing that it's okay to be in those spaces, it's okay to falter in those spaces, but how we lift each other up is what's important.
Totally agree. I mean, I think Cayman as a whole, we're afraid to fail because it's so public, but fail fast and quickly, because I have never learned anything so much from being successful. I have learned more from my failures.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And one of the things that I find myself doing as a leader is a lot of self-assessment. I look at, at times I might make a decision, or I might engage with someone in a certain way. And, I've been told that I'm abrupt at times, and I don't play poker well, so you see stuff on my face. But it's important for me to get feedback about how I'm doing as a leader, but also for me to be aware of who I am and to be able to check myself and say, okay, Paulinda, you need to improve on this area. You need to be more cognizant of when you're dealing with, this group of people, or how people may interpret what you say or how you say it. So I do a lot of self-check-in, which I find is very helpful. And I'm not afraid to say I'm sorry. I'm not afraid to say that I'm wrong, because again, we're only human, and I have to understand the person on the receiving end of something that I may have said and they didn't take well.
Yeah, good for you. I mean, do you have some advice on how, because I find as I'm moving into leadership training, I'm finding that people are really not aware. So what would you suggest on how to self-assess? Is there a tool, or?
I think the biggest thing is, Tara, you have to know who you are as an individual. I have to know who Paulinda is, what Paulinda stands for, what my values, what my morals, what my beliefs are, what triggers me, what doesn't trigger me, what makes me happy, what makes me sad. And, in this role, if I don't bring my authentic self, everybody's going to see that I'm a fake.
Yeah.
And I think you have to know who you are in order to do those self-assessments. And you also have to be open to what I call constructive criticism, because don't come at me like you fighting, because I roll on the Taurus and I am bull too. So, but again, all in the environment, there are times that I have to ensure that I conduct myself as the director and not go buck wild. But I also, have to appreciate and ask for feedback. Because that's the only how I'm going to grow as a leader and a person. So that's important.
How do you foster a workplace that's inclusive, creative, and how does it affect on service delivery?
So at the department, when I came into the department 20-something years ago, I noticed that managers didn't keep closed doors. There was a level of accessibility to senior leadership. up to the director, deputy director, the social work manager. It was an environment where you had access to them and they were seen. And we have continued to foster that. I certainly ensure that my staff see me and know that I am there for them. I used to keep the door open all the time and people used to walk in all the time. I had to put little parameters around it because I wasn't getting much done on some days. But again, I keep my door open, and if I have to defer, I'll defer. But I want to see my staff. I want to hear from them, and I want to give them that opportunity to do the same. And I think that's very important, giving them a voice. Most importantly, listening to them, hearing what they're saying. So people may ask in terms of, leadership style or whatever. It depends on the situation. I believe in being very transformative. We are getting into an age where there's so many different trends in the practice that we do, and being able to work with our children and family. So just navigating the leadership paradigm is important to me. So I can't say that I take a particular approach to, one space of leadership, but definitely keeping communication flowing, a two-way street, hearing from staff, them hearing from me, and being present, being accessible as a leader. I think that's very important, that your team knows that you're there and you're there for them.
What you said about having to put some boundaries up, I think boundaries are healthy, and you can't be present with them if they come into your office and all you can think about is, Jesus, I got so much work to do.
No.
So that I heard a husband and wife talk about that the other day at a leadership conference that I was at, and they were saying, we can't be present with our clients if, our workplace, if this happens. And I was like, oh.
So I have now put up a sign on the door. Monday to Thursdays I'm available, not 8:30, because people normally come in the morning, and I do walk around and check on my team because I want to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, I mean, you work in a rough industry. You see a lot of stuff that we don't want to see. How do you keep optimistic? I mean, you said about your mom, about the smile on your face and treating the people with respect. It was like she was grooming you for this role, right? God,
I didn't know it then, but now I do.
How do you keep that resilience and persevere? Because there have been some dark days. Must be.
There are dark days, but over the years in practice and also hearing client-related stories from previous mentors and members of the department, one thing I can tell you is when I was in the field 20-something years ago, I started as a school counselor first. And to this day, Tara, there are children, well, they're no longer children, they're now adults, that come up to me and say, Miss Paulinda, I remember you when you were my school counselor or my social worker, and I just want to thank you. You don't know what you did for me. Some of them, they don't approach me, but I see them in their profession. I see them making inroads and strives in their family life, their parents, they're doing well. So it's not about the field that I'm in, it's the longevity, because you're not going to see the seeds that you've sown right away. You're going to see it down the line. Sometimes it's 20, 30 years down the line, but the impact that we make in our clients' lives, our family lives, we see it. Social work is a calling. It is not a profession that you just wake up one day and say, this is what I'm going to do. I didn't wake up saying I wanted to be a social worker. I had no clue. I didn't know what I wanted to do until the end of my sophomore year. And I had an aha moment, and I went to a social work class, and the professor was talking, and I said, yep, that's it. So it's a passion.
Looking into the future, what do you hope to see change for women in leadership roles across the sectors? And how do you think we'll get there? I think you've been stressing about women in parliament. Is that it?
That's it for me. I really think that the more we are present at that level, being in parliament, we're going to be able to champion those causes, not just for us, but for other areas in society. I know people sometimes say women in parliament, we're going to focus on women and children and families. But if we don't, we're forgetting that that's the foundation of this country. So if we're not making sure that our children are well and our families are well and able to take care of our children, there'll be no other future. There'll be no tourism. There'll be no banking. So I know we kind of stereotype and say that's what we want women to do, but I'm looking at the big picture. We have women in the financial industry, in tourism, and in legal, all of that. And I just want to, I want to see us at the helm. I want to see more of us at the helm. I want to see more of us bringing more of our young girls in those fields.
As we celebrate women's life, could you share who or what inspires you to keep pushing forward in both your career and your personal life?
So again, I'm going to say our Heavenly Father, because without him, I would not have the tenacity to go on. There would be some dark days if I didn't call on him to give me that energy, that grace, that guidance. So he is the one I look to. But if we talk about just being around the team that I have at DCFS, I would say that they make me want to come to work.
Oh.
They make me want to come to work.
Paulina Mendoza Williams from the Department of Children and Family Services. In fact, she's the director. Thank you so much for being on For the Health of It.
Thank you again, Tara. It's a pleasure.
We are moving you to the life you want.
If you or your loved one is facing cancer, only Sylvester will stand firmly by your side at every step, from diagnosis through survivorship, providing you and your family peace of mind and assisting with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is South Florida's only NCI-designated cancer center and specializes in treating the most complex cancer cases. Your first-class cancer care is just a flight away. Learn more at sylvester.org.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush. Brought to you by the Health Services Authority. Caring people, quality service. Visit hsa.ky.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health. 2 locations, Governor Square and Grand Harbor. Refill and transfer prescriptions online. Call 947-8900 or visit healthcarepharmacy.ky. Also brought to you by Cayman Medical Center, Cayman's most awarded private medical clinic.
And UHealth, International University of Miami.
World-class healthcare in the heart of Miami.
The Light Room, your holistic sanctuary for physical and mental restoration, repair, and rejuvenation. The power that made the body heals the body. 38 Pasadora Place, Georgetown. Find us online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
One radio station.
Radio Cayman is the voice of